Matt Murdock's time in Spider-Man No Way Home was very short. We know that the character would have been featured in a few more minutes that were ultimately cut from the theatrical release. Now, the people responsible for writing the character into the film talk about some of the scrapped scenes and ideas we could have had. So I think most of us agree that giving Matt Murdock more time, or even having him suit up as Daredevil, which is what some of the rumors were saying that he would be in the third act of the film all suited up, would have honestly felt out of place. It was not a Daredevil return film. It was a Spider-Man film where Daredevil just happens to be a good fit in one scene, specifically Matt Murdock. Now, of course, in regards to all those rumors and what could have been, and of course the scrapped scenes, more time with Peter Parker and more time investigating the whole murder thing, we know that very early on the film was supposed to be different. So instead of focusing on things one at a time, there was a general idea that there was going to be more Matt Murdock initially. But as the film continued to evolve and add in more characters, he was scrapped, to a large degree and scaled back to what we got. Now, we recently did find out that when they started coming up with ideas of how to use Matt Murdock, that yes, Daredevil was one thing that they were like, well, could we possibly have the character suit up? And ultimately they decided, you know what? No, that's not going to work, so let's see what we can do with the whole lawyer aspect of it. That did actually end up quite obviously happening, but as we recently found out from the screenwriter and even the writers and even the director, originally, there was really no big plan to have him fully suit up and fight. Instead, we would have just got Matt Murdock doing the lawyer stuff and that's it. The extent of the scenes that they were writing for him only contributed to that aspect of the story and nothing more. And they essentially came up with that idea because of the story that they had at hand. Because it would have been too much of a take away the focus off of Peter Parker to focus on this other character, because people might not know who it is. And again, I know us, people always are baffled at that. How would they not know? Again, only a small fraction of the people have seen Daredevil that are seeing this film. You can't just drop him in for no reason, especially if he's only going to suit up for 30, 45 seconds. So Matt Murdock being a lawyer who says, I'm a real good lawyer, will have people going, wait a second. How did the blind guy do that? And then their friend can go over and go, oh, well, you let me tell you about Daredevil. They're like, oh, Daredevil, aha, yeah, Ben Affleck, right? Again, it made sense, and I appreciate that they took the time and did it the way they did it, and then just shove it in there and make it just something that felt out of place and forced, which ultimately you could still argue that what they did in the end does feel a little forced, but at least it makes sense. Him suiting up and going, all right, Parker, let's fight crime, that's out of place, especially when he's trying to prove that he's innocent. Aren't all eyes going to be on him? And then Daredevil has more eyes on him? Yeah, that's not a good way to handle anything.